Before I begin the video, I just want to flag, as always, that I am not a qualified financial advisor and nothing I say should be considered as financial advice. Hello, I'm the Jolly Saver and this is my Stocks and Shares ISA update for February 2025. So, where was I at the end of January? Well, January was a pretty positive month. So I had a market gain of £350, which represented 4% of my value. So I ended the month on £9,300 in my Stocks and Shares ISA. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that my big aim is to get to £10,000 in my Stocks and Shares ISA, because I'm wanting to build up my ISA balance alongside putting money as overpayments into my mortgage. So I'll jump straight into the figures. So started with £9,300. I then purchased £100 of investments. Some people ask what I invest in. What I've chosen to do in these videos is just talk about it more generally, because I think there's a risk if I talk about the individual funds I invest in, then it can be misconstrued as financial advice. And the purpose of these videos are really to track my own journey and kind of show that fluctuation in value that you kind of see when you invest. So yeah, apologies if you're interested to know what I'm investing in. I'm just not sharing the specifics of that. But what I will say is that I'm investing in global index funds. I mean, I'll leave it at that. That's all just personal opinion and choice from my own research. And it's all within a Stocks and Shares ISA product. So income returns is 0.03, so that is 3p. I don't know why. Honestly, I filmed this video after work, and you can tell that maybe I should do them earlier on in the day, because that's obviously 3p, but I've just said it's 0.03. Anyways, the 3p, I think that's predominantly due to cash in my account that accrue some interest. So there was a period when I had some cash sitting in my account, and I accrued 3p of interest on it. The market gain or loss, so for people who have been following the stock market over the past couple of months, you'll know that stocks have went, overall it seems stocks have went down, so it's down £248. Sorry, that's probably not a very not a very economically accurate statement. It's not that stocks have went down, it's like overall kind of the global stock market, it's went down. Obviously there'll be individual stocks that aren't affected and may have went up, but because I am investing in a global index fund, I've seen a loss in February, so that's minus 3% of my starting balance. So you can see here that as I show with this investment journey, you have to take the good when the market gains with the bad, and overall over the long term, the hope is that I am up on my investments. So fees, I didn't have to pay any fees this month, but what I will say is that the platform that I use is introducing a monthly fee, so I will start seeing that in the coming months. I think the fee will be around £4 a month. I think that's going to be. So cumulative returns, so the amount that the amount that my investments have increased in value since I started investing is £2,143. So that means that the final balance is £9,153, because the amount that I invested this month was wasn't enough to offset the market loss that I saw. So I've started introducing, because I'm instead of doing this in financial years, for me, it's easier if I just, as I mentioned before, if I just look in calendar years, because that's, at the end of the year, I like to think of the progress over a year. So I've got a total that's summing up some of these things. So far, I've invested £125 this year. Income returns of £13.65 from my January 25 dividends payment. And then, overall, the gain has been £100. That's represent 1% of my value at the start of the year. Fees paid so far is £3, and then the cumulative returns is the £2,143. So if I just look at overall figures, so I have contributed £7,000. The gain in investment is £2,077. That brings me to the £9,000 total. Overall, so this chart just shows all the monthly percentage increases or decreases in so kind of market gain or loss. So I have been investing now for 69 months. 60% of them I've seen a market gain, and 39% of them I've seen a market loss. And then if I just look at my overall investment journey, so this is my total amount invested, looking at the value of my investments over time, from April 19 to February 2025, you can see it's pretty much been a linear kind of trajectory. I had some periods here when I withdrew money, and then started adding back to my investments. So even though I have seen some of a drop, it's not too dramatic at the minute. I think, what will I say going forward? So my first primary aim this year is to get £6,000 in my emergency fund. So £6,000 to me represents 6 months of necessary, around 6 months of necessary living expenses for either me individually, or actually just 6 months of keeping our property afloat. So paying the bill, paying the mortgage, paying the gas, the electric, and all that. So I think our bill's coming to around £1,200, so it's probably more like 5 months. So actually I want to aim for £6,000, but I still want to continue to add to my emergency fund after that. But once I'm at £6,000, then I also want to increase my monthly contributions to my stocks and shares ISA. So the idea is that later on this year, I'll be in a position where I'll have £6,000 in my emergency fund, and then I'll be able to split my monthly sort of savings between emergency fund plus stocks and shares ISA, so that I can gradually build my stocks and shares ISA. I am scaling back some of my mortgage overpayments. So, February I overpaid by £500 a month, £500 in the month. So my plan is, instead of ad hoc doing these big overpayments, I am probably just going to stick to matching the mortgage interest. So my mortgage accrues £100 of interest a month at the moment based on my mortgage rate I'm currently on. So the aim will be I'll just match that mortgage interest, and then I'll put the rest of my savings between my emergency fund and my stocks and shares ISA. So that's that, It felt like a bit of a waffly video today. I haven't been as articulate as I like to try and be. But let me know how your journey's going in the comments below. I'm also wanting to do a solo podcast episode at the weekend, just because I want to talk about some finance things, but also just other kind of personal goals and how they are going so far, because we're nearly 3 months into 2025. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer in that solo podcast, then do drop them as a comment in the comments below, and I'll add them to the list. Just as a bit of a preview, the sort of things I want to talk about are kind of healthy eating goals. So I gave up Diet Coke last year, and I'll talk about how that's going and how I'm still struggling not to drink fizzy pop. I'll be talking about habits and routines, so just what's working, a bit about hobbies, and then just a bit about other things. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next video.